Moving on. Sex booths. Sex booths. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain something to you. So, I'm as progressive can get, right? I believe that we should be in a society where you get to choose your own profession, even if that profession is being a prostitute, right? A stripper, a prostitute, all of these choices should be up to the person. So, if I think that you should be able to have that profession as a prostitute, I also believe that I want it to be a very, very safe way of functioning. I don't want prostitutes to be in the situation that they are in today, especially in America, where it's illegal, number one, it's underground, number two, and it's violence, and there's drugs, and it's a horrible, horrible way to make a living here in the States. But in Switzerland, in Zurich specifically, they have these sex booths, where it's basically a drive-through to get a prostitute. Let me explain to you what's going on. So there's legal sex booths where customers drive in to meet prostitutes that have been hailed a great success by officials in Zurich, Switzerland. So in 2013, they installed these sex booths, which I'll show you pictures. You're looking at them right now. As you can see, there's just basically these drive-through, like you go into a garage parking spot and you have sex with the prostitute of your choosing. But prostitution isn't new, and it wasn't legal starting in 2013. Prostitution has been legal in Switzerland since 1940. America, catch up, America, catch up. Since 1940, prostitution has been legal in Switzerland. And just in 2013, they made these booths because even though it was legal, and I'm not one of those folks that believe all we need to do is make prostitution legal because then all of the problems that comes with prostitution and the trafficking and the illegal business behind it and the pimping is going to all go away. I don't believe that. I'm not ignorant to the fact that all of those things might still happen. And in fact, the reason they started these sex booths, because those things were still happening in Switzerland when prostitution was legal. It was legal, which made it less likely for those things to happen because a prostitute can then go to a cop and say, I've been sexually abused by X, Y, and Z. Someone's trying to take advantage of me even though I'm a prostitute. So they don't go to jail for going to the cops, right? But this makes it even safer. They also noted that most sex workers stayed on city's riverfront, with locals complaining about seeing them on the streets. So yes, there was the aspect of it being dangerous and still having some sex trafficking, violence. But also, they were doing it in public. There was no private place to do it. People would just get into cars and drive into random street dark corners and try to have sex there. So it wasn't publicly appealing, and there was still some violence to it. But now that they have these sections where you can actually pull in, have sex with the prostitute that is now legal, and there's a special button that these prostitutes can hit in these garage-like boxes, parking spots. If things were to get out of line, and police would be there right away, if you want to be a prostitute that has one of those garage places, you do have to get monthly checked up at hospitals. It's a fabulous, fantastic idea. It brings safety. It brings some, continuity. It brings just some structure to a profession that naturally wouldn't have structure, right? And then in 2014, the booths were improved to include plank beds for people who wanted to leave their cars. And this also allowed, the plank beds also allowed for people who had motorcycles, who had, motor scooters or whatever, to then come in and enjoy the pleasures of going to a sex booth without having sex in public, on the floor, on the grass or whatever. So now there are these plank beds, and you can see the picture of it. Just lay a towel there, lay a blanket there, whatever you want to do, however sensual you want to be, enjoy yourself. But at least now it's in a safe way, in a safe place where these women have access to help if need be. These men have places to have sex without worrying about public, the rest of the world seeing them. It's a great situation for everybody involved. Switzerland has obviously proved that it's functional and safe thus way. In fact, they said the legal areas have lowered the amount of violent attacks on sex workers, as well as a cut down on the illegal trafficking of prostitutes, the council officials have said. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy for the people of Switzerland. America, time to catch up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate this. If you guys were informed or educated in any way, shape, or form by these stories, please hit that like button. If you liked my presentation of the news, I really suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know every time Q the Nurse drops some hot, fresh press news. Thank you. Catch you next week. Deuces.